Why play Lillia Jungle? Well, she is incredibly mobile. She does a ton of damage to both tanks and squishies. She can hard CC entire teams, and she brings strong ganks with her movement speed. However, she doesn't have any hard CC before getting her ultimate, and when built as full AP, she is squishier than most junglers. Lillia's passive is when dealing damage with an ability, she applies Dream Dust, which deals maximum health damage over time. In addition, while this is active against large monsters and champions, she also heals a good amount of health. Lillia's Q has a passive where when hitting an ability, she is granted a good amount of movement speed for 6.5 seconds, and this passive can stack up to 4 times, granting her massive amounts of movement speed. The active is a circular skill shot around her which deals damage to all enemies hit. In addition, if this hits an enemy on the outer edge of the skill shot, they're dealt the same amount of damage again as true damage. Lillia's W is a circular skill shot which deals damage. Enemies hit by the center of this ability take 3 times the damage instead. Lillia's E is a straight line skill shot which throws out a ball which will keep rolling indefinitely across the map until it hits terrain or an enemy. When hitting an enemy, it deals damage, slows them, and reveals the target hit. Lillia's ultimate also has global range. Upon use, it causes all enemies currently afflicted with her Dream Dust passive to become drowsy, and after a short delay, they fall asleep. If they take damage, they can be awakened early, and when awakened by damage, they take an additional burst of damage. For combos, Lillia has short cooldowns, so can be pretty creative with what she does. But a good go-to is to engage with your E and then follow up with W while they're slowed. After this, get your auto attack in, followed by Q before following up with ultimate as needed. For matchups, Lillia does incredibly well into tanky junglers, dealing massive amounts of true damage to them and her passive constantly burning them for maximum health damage. However, she can struggle against the more aggressive junglers who can get onto her and burst her out. For runes take this, she procs Conqueror incredibly easily with her short cooldowns. For build orders, start Blue Monster and Pot into tier 2 Boots, Leandries and Demonic. After this, Azonia's is usually a great pickup, giving you the survivability you need before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill orders, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, doing a full clear will usually be your go-to. With your passive and all your spells being AoE damage, not only do you clear incredibly fast, but you also remain incredibly healthy, due to both being able to kite the camps and your passive constantly healing you. And combined with all this, your passive lets you move incredibly fast through your jungle, allowing you to complete your clear easily in time for the Scuttlecrab to spawn. After this, you're normally going to be looking for a gank. As always, consider the 3 main points of what CC does your team bring, what escapes does your enemy have, and where is the lane push to. When ganking, if you're able to start with E, the speed up you get and the slow they receive puts you in a great position. This allows you to easily get on top of them, spam out all your damage while getting all the bonus movement speed. And as Lillia, if you're ever able to gank a lane with great CC, this makes your W triple damage easier to land for some massive burst. And of course, when you have ultimate, your ganks become incredibly scary, bringing your own CC. So as soon as you have access to this, look for a gank and then convert it into an objective. Entering the mid game, you are the jungler, so your main objective is going to be on skirmishing for your team, looking for picks and securing objectives. Keep farming hard to secure vision and group as needed. Late game team fights with Lillia can be difficult, but if done well are incredibly effective. Your main goal will always be to put as many of your opponents to sleep as possible. You can also use this to engage if you can land in multi-person E into the sleep. Otherwise, wait for the fight to start and spam your abilities out on as many people as possible. After this, you've often overextended, so use your sleep straight into Azonia's. This puts your team in a great position with tons of CC and damage.